Hey, how you doing, everybody? Welcome back. I hope you're having a fantastic day. I am continuing my grind down the Italian heavy tanks. I've reached tier 8, the first Italian heavy tank that gets the auto reloading system, the Progetto CC55 Mod 54, which in Italian I think means hunk of junk. But let me not jump to that conclusion right away. In my mind, I see it as a hunk of junk. But at the same time, I performed really well in it. I had some really good games. Maybe I don't know what it is. Let's watch, I'll talk about it, and you guys can make up your own mind. It's the first one that gets this auto reloader, but I felt I was reloading all the time. It takes forever to load 3 shots. Forever. It's one of the slowest reloading tanks. Just... back down to 1 shot now. I didn't get the 3 shots loaded. And you might say, well, you're a heavy tank and you don't deserve to reload so fast, like the Progetto medium tank. It's something about it that... the beeping, see it's beeping now? This beeping grinds on you. Okay, I've got 3 shots. 3 shots in the clip. All right, let's get into it. It's kind of slow and sluggish, but not too slow and not too sluggish. It has some armor, but not too much armor. It has some gun depression, but not too much gun depression. It's okay in every way. So what am I complaining about? Okay, I haven't started complaining yet. Have I? Well, I called it a hunk of junk right at the beginning of the game, but all right. It has some armor, but not enough. I found that if you play frontline, not the mode frontline, but if you play it as a frontline heavy, you just can't bounce very many shots, even off your hull, the front plate, or even when you're hull down from your turret, because this turret has a pointy wedged front, so that when you're hull down and you're using your gun depression, the target that the enemy sees shooting up at you is the bottom side of that point, and it's an easy pen. You're actually weak when you're hull down. It's weird looking. When you get a good look at the turret, have a look at it in the gameplay here, and it just doesn't make any sense to me. So hull down, you're an easy pen. On flat, you're an easy pen. So you have to play it kind of like a support tank. And if you do move up into a very aggressive position, and you take your 3 shots, you're basically helpless because you're on a very long reload, and I'm thinking exactly that right now. There's a crossfire here. There's enemies to the right, enemies to the left of me. Here I am stuck in the middle so I'm retreating. I'm going to take a different angle. Now, the other thing I noticed with this thing is in today's meta, this is kind of like we're looking at the more grandiose picture. Like almost every game I play now is 4 or 5 minutes, 5-6 minutes tops. This is going to be no different. This is going to be a 5-minute game. It's hard to do a lot of damage in 5 minutes in this tank because you're freaking reloading all the time. The first 35-40 seconds of the game, you're just loading your 3 shells. And then sometimes you take 1 or 2 shots and you wait or you move. Or you might take 3 shots and bounce 1 or miss 1. And then you're reloading for another 30-40 seconds with a little bit of driving around in between, and that's 4 minutes into the game. You've got 2 clips, 6 shots, and that's if you're doing things right. A lot of times the game's over and you've only had the opportunity to shoot maybe 6-7 shots. You just physically cannot mathematically do a lot of damage in 4 or 5 minutes in this tank. And what I've noticed is on the short games, even though I have a very good game, I finish on top, I really help my team, I pump out as much damage as I can. If it's a typical 3, 4, 5, 6 minute game, there's no way you're going to get ace tanker or get if you're working on marks of excellence or anything like that. It's almost impossible to keep that momentum going. Let's just go here. Now this game's over. Consider this the intro, just the preamble. And I'm lucky here that I might have one more enemy that I can attack. Let's see if I can I have to kind of take my time here because I have no shots. I want to get 3 shots. Like this reload. There's a whole lot of beeping going on, but okay, I'll go around the other way, which will give me time to reload my third shot. So maybe I can use 3 full shots. Because there's no point of charging into an enemy with 1 shot in the clip. You'll get 1 shot. See, now it's beeping. Okay, I've got 3. I'm going to wait for... Okay, I've got 3 shots. There. Okay, so let's take 1 shot on his side. Let's avoid his gun. Take another shot on him. And maybe shoot the track wheel. Get all 3 shots. Do I need 4? I'm going to let 1 more reload. Oh, I better not. I better take 2 minutes. Yeah, okay, did it. That's it. These are the typical games these days. That was, what, a 4.5 minute game? So, I did about as much damage as you can do. 3,500 damage. That's it. In a 4, 5, 6 minute game, that's pretty much tops. I mean, between 3,000 and 4,000 damage. You can't pump out 6,000 or 7,000 damage in a 6 minute game. Oh, but Klaus, you can't do that in any tank. Oh, yes, you can. Oh, yes, you can. I've played my Tortoise and on what's the map? Ensk, and just poked around one building, and there's the whole enemy team. And in 5 minutes, you can pump out 10,000 damage. You can play an object, whatever the fuck, and you can pump out 7,000, 8,000 damage in 6 minutes. You can play a leopard and pump out 6,000 damage in a 5 minute game. You can play almost, well, most tanks at tier 8, 9, and 10. You can pump out a lot of damage in 6 minutes. In 5 or 6 minutes, you cannot pump out a lot of damage in this tank. It's just I guess what I'm saying in a long-winded, boring way so that I can fill the 15 minutes of this video is I'm trying to say this thing has very bad DPM, and it's very frustrating. The constant having to think, do I take 1 shot and let it reload, or do I take 3 shots? When you're playing the Progetto, the medium tank, there's no question, there's no considering it. You just take your 3 shots, because you reload quickly. Even if you take your 3rd shot, to reload the 1 shot again is only like 10 seconds. It's not that much. But with this one, it is a real decision. It's a real... you got to think about it, because if you take your 3 shots, you're out of the game for a long time. So you actually have to think about it. And that to me was just... it bothered me, because I always was wondering whether I was making a mistake. Now watch this. No problem, right? We'll just shoot there. Yeah. Now there you go. There, 2 shots. And now I've got 1 shot in the clip. I had no shots there for... It feels like I'm reloading. I'm going to reload for like 30 seconds here, guys. And dum-dum-dum. This is what you do a lot in this tank. Dum-dum-dum-dum. Dum-dum-dum-dum-dum-dum. A lot of beeping. Don't even consider shooting when you only have 1 in the clip. Okay, now I've got 3. There's just a whole lot of waiting. This particular game goes on a little bit longer, so that's good for me. And let's try and shoot here. 1. Okay, that did not go through. And I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait for the 1 shell to reload. I tracked them so I get some tracking assist. Okay, here someone's going to go. Someone's going to cross. Let's take some shots on him. Come on, you want to cross. Old Jedi mind trick. You want to cross. Yes. That's the crossing you were looking for. No, he's not crossing. This Chimera with me. The Chimera, I can't wait to get that. I haven't got it yet, but that seems like a really good tank. Now, I learned on this map, committing early is not the thing to do. Although the score is 4-4, I'm just going to... Oh, this guy's playing smart. He's not... I thought he was going to cross, but he's not. I don't want to commit and go down there with this tank, because the tendency is, okay, I'll take 3 shots, and then I'm helpless and get YOLO'd. So you always got to be thinking that with this thing. Okay, the enemy is committing, so now I'm going to make him pay for his stupidity. Let's do it. 1. Yeah. Yeah. 2. Yeah. And would you wait here? No, you've got to take your 3 shots, right? And I made him count. That's it. That's beautiful. There's no question that I had to take those 3 shots. The opportunity presented itself. I had to take the 3 shots. But now, maybe maybe you just got to get used to waiting, like any autoloader. It just seems I'm waiting a long time with this one. So, like, look, the waiting, the beeping, maybe that just bothers me, but I'm waiting here as I reload. So to give you the full effect of the waiting. But maybe if it reloaded faster, it would be overpowered. I guess that's the thing. Maybe it's balanced. And to tell you the truth, I've done really well in it, like consistently, really well. So maybe it's fine. Maybe it's fine. It's just hard to, in situations where the game is very close. There's 2 or 3 enemies at the end. In that situation where you have to carry and kill 2 or 3 guys, it's much easier to do with a tank that has high DPM. With this thing, once you take your 3 shots, you're finito, as they say in Italian. Finito. You bugger. The guy just came and shot me up the ass. Well, let's make him pay for his stupidity. Alright, come on, Burask. Alright, now I know I could get shot by some snipers, but let's... Yeah, there's one. I got him once. Okay. Let's use this Italian gun handling and take you out. Beccato! And now let's wait for 25 seconds here. Well, let's take a shot on you. Unbelievable. RNG. Can you say RNG? When RNG smiles on your ass, guys, when RNG says yes, you have a good game. Yeah, let's face it. When RNG says yes, you have a good game. Now, can you imagine those long-range shots that I just whipped off there? If I had missed those shots, which 90% of the time you miss, then I'd be cursing this thing. Fuck, I took those shots, and now I'm reloading for 40 seconds, right? It'd be the opposite. I'd be just fuming that I have to reload for 35 seconds. So you could just imagine that's how a lot of games go in this thing, right? Yeah, carefully aim, miss. The snapping is no problem, but carefully aiming. Aiming just decreases your DPM. After snapping those shots, and they just go in, then I aim and I miss. That's the game. And I always found with this thing, I always don't want to take those shots, because if you take 1 or 2 of those quick snapshots and miss, then you're thinking, oh man, now I've got a 30-second reload. So it's one of those tanks that's, the mechanic is just a little frustrating for me, but it seems to work. It seems to work. Let's move in here and help. Now, this is not a high damage game. This was just a fun game, because it required some strategy, and I think it gives you the feel for when you got your 3 shots, take them, because you don't know when you're going to get another opportunity. Take him out. And let's take him out. See, it's good for that. Like, that's beautiful, right? It's good to have the burst damage. So you be the judge. You guys let me know what you think. Oh, there, you little bugger. Huh? Let's take a shot on you. I probably didn't have to aim that. So I'm racking up the damage. I'm over 3,000. And I guess I just... maybe I'm capped at around that 3,000, 3,500 mark. I have yet to have a game that's, I think that shot hit. So mid 3,000 damage. I've yet to have a game that's, 45, 5,000 damage, which I think is what you need to get Ace Tanker. Most of the time, because the game doesn't last long enough, and it's mathematically impossible in 4 or 5 minutes. It truly is, unless you just take 1 shot at a time, unless you play it as a 1-shot. And wait for that 1 shot to reload, so that's your maximum DPM. But you almost never get that opportunity, because when you got the chance to take 2 or 3 shots, you take them. If you take your 3 shots, all of them, and then go for the long reload in 4 or 5 minutes, it's almost impossible to get the 4,000 or 5,000 damage. And on the long games, I guess I just haven't done it yet. So it's a love-hate relationship. I love the Italian tank, but it's a little bit of too much for me. I'm hoping the tier 9 is more suitable. Oh, you bugger. You sneaky bugger. Sneaky bugger shot me. And I didn't even get the spotting assist. So, I'm going to show you another video in the next couple of days of just a session I had with this thing. Just fantastic results. I have not been able to ace it. And I got this... I don't know, maybe I'll give it another try one of these days, but it just seemed to me as kind of Mr. Average, but I guess balanced is the probably the best way of describing it. I'd much rather play the Progetto Tier 8 medium tank. But hey, what are you going to do, huh? What are you going to do? Forget about it.